Dangan is a sequel to Danganronpa Desperate Heart. We recommend that you watch that series first. We are not related to any Danganronpa companies in any way. This is strictly fan-made. This series is rated 16+. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Hold on a sec. If Viv was killed in that room, then how did he even get in there? You telling me he went in there on his own accord?
He's a fool. He should have known better than to attempt to return to the room.
Oh, come on, Nadine. Are you really that thick? You genuinely think Vivian would go there himself? And you say I'm not cut out for this.
Stop at once! Explain it to me, Sunshine. If you're so clever, tell me why he was in there.
I can help. He definitely didn't go there himself, because there'd be no reason to go there in the middle of the night.
That's right. No sleeping anywhere outside your own rooms.
Why would you even sleep there? So uncomfy.
How'd the killer get him to get there then, huh? And are we even sure there is a killer? If he was killed by the spike room, then surely the spikes themselves are the damn killer.
I see. Let's vote for the spikes. Naughty spikes! Killing poor Vivian like that! They should be punished!
So Vivian was somehow escorted to the room? Was he asleep the whole time?
Asleep while he was being taken. Even if he was a heavy sleeper, surely he would wake up, no?
If he could sleep through being shaken, is it possible he could sleep through being carried to another room?
Actually, getting your arms under him and carrying him, kinda a big task. Not to mention, he's probably heavy.
I agree with that. Matilda, I think you're right. I don't think Vivian was carried per se. The culprit had all they needed right inside his bedroom. While he was asleep in his bed, the culprit moved it using the wheels on the bottom.
I'm going to have to stop you there, I'm afraid.
You saying Lottie's wrong?
I have but one inconsistency to present. So, you say that Vivian is so much of a heavy sleeper that he'd sleep through loud noises and shaking? I'll admit, he could have indeed been wheeled out of his room via his very own bed. Even the loud noise of going outside of one building and entering another can be excused. But how did the culprit get him off the bed and into the spiked room itself? Again, picking him up off the bed and placing him in the room is sure to wake him up, no?
But how did the culprit get him off the bed and into the spiked room itself?
I got it!
Please, if you have a rebuttal, do say.
Once more, I don't think Vivian was ever carried by the killer in this case.
If he was, that would certainly have limited our suspects to those strong enough. Guess if you're saying he wasn't lifted, it could be anyone.
But how? How do you get someone off a bed without lifting them?
It's easy. All you'd have to do is turn the bed itself into a slide and have the body fall into the spike room itself.
A slide? Vivian had so much fun before he died.
What on earth do you mean by turning the bed into a slide?
I think I see where this is going. You're saying the killer lifted the bed up on one side against the door to the room. The bed itself stands at a 45-degree angle. And the power of gravity led Vivian straight into the trap room.
Would the bed not be heavy? Then we can limit our suspects again.
Surprisingly not. I see now why Lottie made me lift it during our investigation. I bet even Bahmin could lift it.
I say that like I'm weak.
This is all speculation. Where's your evidence? I need evidence.
The evidence once again was found in Vivian's room.
That is true. We found 2 even marks on the bed frame. I suppose if you were to imagine the bed being held the same position described prior, presuming the culprit had a somewhat shaky hand, it could definitely result in those marks forming.
Okay, but so what?
What does that mean, Sanjiru?
We all got out of those rooms, didn't we? You just put your hand on the scanner and the door opens.
Oh, Sanji's right. Everyone listen to Sanji.
Didn't Vivsy literally wear gloves? Or am I misremembering?
That's true, but he could have just taken the gloves off. It's not like they were stuck to his hands.
Wait, wasn't he asleep? He can't press a scanner if he's asleep.
He obviously woke up after being thrown off his own bed. He's a heavy sleeper, but he's still human.
He was such a snoozer. He was streaming so hard that he just could not wake up.
Even with the disorder, I think anyone would wake up after a fall like that.
That's true, but he could have just taken the gloves off. It's not like they were stuck to his hands.
No, that's wrong! Sanjiru, you're a genius!
I am?
The gloves were stuck on his hands. To be specific, they were glued to his hands.
Glue? Are you referring to the glue we found in the outside storage?
Oh, right. We found that in Vivian's room. There were glue drops on the table, so someone had used it in there.
Right! That solves how he was killed, but, like, did Vivian not lock his bedroom door? How did the killer even get in there?
Only time I can think of is when Vivian was in my room. You can't lock the doors from the outside. Unless he let them in after.
Boo-hoo! If only we could talk to Vivian himself.
Oh, but we can. Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't done so already.
Talk to Vivian. Oh, you must be referring to...
Bahmin's astral projecting! That's right! We can get Bahmin to go into the spirit world and talk to Vivian.
I mean, I guess I could. No, we can't use that for proof because... While I trust Bahmin, we cannot guarantee that she will tell the truth. If she's the killer, she could blame someone else. If we want to speak with Vivian...
I suppose my time has come.
Oh, right! Spirit channeling! Can you really do it, Rentomu?
I am aware this is an important situation, so if you would all let me, I would gladly summon Vivian forth to bring light to our conundrum. Again, I must preface this by reminding you all that the only way to let me back into my body is to use the sacred Magatama and chant, "O sacred Magatama, release the vessel from the chains of the dead. Please do not forget." And I will also require a photo.
Got it! Photo incoming!
O spirits of the deceased, hear my call. By the power of the sacred Magatama, I reach in and drag this soul into my body to use as a vessel. Use me as your ship to sail the spiritual plane and step forth into our world.
Vivian came back to life?
So, this is what it feels like. Nothing could have quite prepared me for a return to the real world.
My word! I know I've seen it already, but this power is truly incredible!
Speak then. What is it you require from me before I am thrust back into Ethereum?
Vivian, we do apologize, but is it too much to ask how you were killed and by whom?
So far, we got that you were slid off a bed into the spike room. That sound familiar?
You are correct. I met my fate against those spiked foes before I could even wake up properly. Once again, my regretted deep slumbers cost a life. Charlotte, I apologize for any harm I may have caused you.
You didn't even leave a scratch. I'm fine.
Yes, right.
But who's the killer? Who killed you?
My killer, yes.
Are you really just going to tell us? We can solve this immediately.
Yes. See, I regret to inform you that I didn't see the killer. I had only begun to wake up from my slumber before the door shut. I couldn't even catch a glimpse.
Seriously? You couldn't see the culprit whatsoever?
The entire bed was being held up. My foe had hid their body entirely behind the frame.
Vivian, you're saying you didn't see anything? Not even the skin tone.
You see... Well, no. No! I did not see a damned thing! What possible reason do I have to hide this from you?
He has a point. If he knew the killer, there'd be no reason for him not to tell us.
That was a massive waste of our time.
Are you going to simply send me back to my grave, then? Is that how this ends?
I suppose so. Sorry.
No matter. But, one thing. Bahmin.
Yes?
It seems as though your paper prophecy might be coming true. I am ready. Return me to the other side.
Very well. Are we ready?
I got this! Leave it to me! O sacred Magatama, release the vessel from the chains of the dead.
How did it go?
It was fucking pointless!
Ah, I see. Never mind then. Shall we continue the discussion?
Okay, where do we start now? We've wholly established the cause of death. Now it's simply down to who the killer is.
So, the killer got into Vivian's room while he was asleep? I'm still confused on that part.
They went in when Vivian was with Lottie, right?
If they did, how did they know Vivian had left? And where did they hide while Vivian was falling asleep?
May I propose an area of discussion? Regardless of how the killer knew to go to the room, one oddity has stood out to me.
Are you referring to Vivian's incision and lack of bone structure in his waist?
Precisely.
A lack of bone structure? You mean his bones were removed?
You saw how he was positioned. His legs were shifted around his neck. That would not be possible with pelvic bone structure intact.
Why cut him open if he's already been impaled by spikes? Unless it was done beforehand?
If he was cut open elsewhere, then there would have been evidence of blood elsewhere.
But to take his bones... Some people have strange hobbies, huh?
Are you sure the bones were missing? Could he not just be very flexible? A contortionist, perhaps?
Whoa! Viv was a contortionist? Is that part of the Phantom of the Opera?
I agree with that. You're right, Yukie. Some people do have strange hobbies.
You mean to say somebody here collects bones? What utter hogwash.
Antea, weren't you the one who was going on about how you just love to collect male pelvis bones?
Oh shit! You're weird as fuck, lady!
Oh, so Antea killed Vivian so she could steal his pelvis bone? I agree with Emily, you got a brain the size of Pluto. That's a dwarf planet, you know, real small.
I think I remember seeing a pelvis in Anthea's room.
What?
That's a health and safety concern! Please retrieve it at once, One-san!
Ta-da! One freshly bloody pelvis bone. Anthea, we're gonna need to speak to HR about this, okay?
I'll turn you to stone! You intend to pin me as your criminal. Then use your words. Make me reach my climax. You're correct. I collect male pelvises. But I did not retrieve Vivian's. As I told you the other day. I wanted to extract deltas. And that's exactly what I did.
I find your arguments laughable. Please, Antea, tell me. When did you extract Delta's pelvis?
Don't toy with me, woman. I'll skin you alive. I extracted it yesterday. At night, so nobody would see me.
Then please, explain to me how you extracted the bone when Delta's body was cleaned up the day before yesterday.
What? You snake! You're lying, aren't you?
After Matilda and Gunnar received a photo of the body for the channeling, I noticed the minicams were quick to clean up the body. To avoid rot, I suppose.
You're lying! Silence, you titless freak!
My lack of chest growth is irrelevant. If I was lying, the robots would argue back.
Did clean it up? The photo reminded us that it was still there.
Corpses get sticky quickly. Ew.
So that means the pelvis in your room is Vivian's. Antea, you extracted Vivian's pelvis from his body after killing him in the trap room.